then I'm going to kick us off in just a minute. And I'm sure there's going to be a few stragglers, people going, I need lunch, I need coffee. I totally get it. All righty. Ladies, I'm going to kick us off here. Welcome to the Confident Pitch Masterclass. I'm so thrilled that you're going to spend an hour with me today. Anytime that someone shares their time with me, the most valuable resource that we have, I really am honored to spend that time with you. So thank you so much. And I hope you get a lot out of today. This is super actionable. I'm sharing a whole range of experiences, knowledge, expertise that I've learned over the years that hopefully are going to make you these incredible pitches, not just in your businesses, but in your professional and personal life as well. So let's get straight into it. Let's get social today. Say hi to me, whether it's on Instagram, LinkedIn, you want to get in touch via my website. I would love to see what your takeaways are today from our session. And there are a few bonuses and prizes and things. So I would love everyone to be as active as possible in the chat or posting online. And I will be excited to share some of those prizes for who is going to be most active today. I always try and be that person in a Zoom chat. All righty. If I haven't met you before, I know I've met a lot of you, but this is me. I'm Claudia Neal-Shaw. And really, I have saying that I've been the champion of women since I left the womb. I am one of about 500 sisters. I know that's a hyperbole, but it's true. There's a lot of us. And I've always felt incredibly called to empower and support women in their personal life and also in their businesses and careers, because I truly believe that we can rewrite the rules and pave the way to our own success. It doesn't have to be a traditional way. I do have a background in law and comms, and so I do come from quite a traditional background. I noticed very quickly that in these spaces, I wasn't able to thrive in the way that I really wanted to and make the most impact that I wanted to as well. I became a business owner in my early 20s. I still run two businesses, this consulting business, and I'm also a marriage celebrant. And really my core focus is to teach female entrepreneurs to market themselves with confidence and to not just do that, but actually have an outcome attached, which is to build a global brand. I think sometimes we look at building a brand as very localized, of like, oh, people in my area who might know who we are, but there are people all over the world that want to hear your message. And I think it's really crucial to think big and think of ideas that are scary and exciting at the same time. You will find me at the beach, drinking great coffee, always in the sunshine, often dressed in red and pink. It's actually very odd for me to be in white today, but it's true. And I'm very proud to be people's wing woman a lot of the time. So, ladies, tell me all about you. I've had some wonderful ladies write in the chat. If you haven't written in the chat already, I'd love to know what you do, who you serve, what you're really passionate about, so I can really cater today's session to make sure that you're going to get a lot out of it and you're going to be able to apply it in your own businesses and your own careers as well. So keep writing to me in the chat and I will make sure that I look at it throughout. So today, the things that I really wanted to focus on, and which I know you would have seen when signing up for this masterclass, is I want to teach you how to show up as the most confident version of yourself. And when you walk into the room, to feel like the most confident woman in the room and being able to own the space and share your message. I'm going to teach you to really nail your pitch and leave an unforgettable impact on your audience, whether it's a small audience, you're on a big stage talking to people. I do think the principles are incredibly similar. Sometimes we just see it as very different, but really connection is the main point. I'm going to teach you to be able to give off that magnetic energy and actually attract the people you want to work with. How nice would that be? Working with people that you really, really like and they're your dream client all the time, as opposed to having just some dream clients and a couple of other clients that pay the bills, but we kind of wish we didn't have. We all had some of those before where we're like, yeah, kind of wish I didn't have these people, but we do what we have to do. And then the final piece to the puzzle here is I'm really sharing with you how you can make your next power move and show up authentically online. I've got lots of information and some very exciting announcements about what I'm doing next, and I'm excited to share that with you today. So in 1 hour, ladies, you are going to walk away. You're going to have the energy of Amy Poehler, who I just love and adore. You're going to feel powerful. You're going to feel fierce and being able to step into the rest of your day as the most confident woman you know. At the end of the masterclass today, I am going to be giving away one free 45-minute coaching call where we get into really granular detail on how to nail your pitch. I'm going to give you a lot of those principles today, but if you want to get into the nitty-gritty and have some very personalized coaching, I wanted to open up that opportunity because I think it's really lovely to have another set of eyes on the way that you communicate so you can really refine. I'm also going to be opening up and giving you first dibs on my newest program, the Power Moves Playbook, which I'm just like heart-fluttering excited to share. And also some more opportunities to connect with me and the other amazing women in my community as well. So, ladies, I wanted to share a quick story with you today. And this is just something that's happened to me in the last week. And I'm sure you would have felt the change or the shift in energy, particularly over the weekend with a whole range of new female political candidates coming into power. And there really does feel like a shift in the energy and a shift in the priority. And for me, it has become incredibly clear, even clearer than before, that my main priority in my business and in my life is to elevate the voices of women. That is my core priority. But what I find really interesting is because I've come from some traditional backgrounds like law, like comms, had a corporate experience, a lot of my network are still really rooted in that traditional experience. And I often get the question, Claudia, what you're offering is really great, but why would you just offer it to women? And at first I was, I ended up being a bit like, why can't these people understand that there's a very specific purpose around this? And actually now, all I am focused on is having as much clarity as possible so I can do the tasks that align with that. If my core priority is to elevate women's voices, I am creating offerings that are going to end with that outcome. And even on things like LinkedIn, I have people comment saying, why are you just working with women? And I'm now responding in exactly that. My priority is to elevate women's voices. So I guess the message to kind of kick us off is don't be scared to honor the priorities that are most important to you and your business. So a quick poll, and it's going to pop up on your screen here. I want you to let me know, how confident do you feel about public speaking or pitching your business right now? If I had to throw you in the deep end, pop you in a room with 50 people and go, okay, quick, Kerry, pitch your business, how would you feel? Are you still feeling those nerves and that fear? You need a lot of help? You're willing, but you're struggling a little bit, or maybe you're a super master pitcher and today is really about embracing that learning and you feel that confidence. Okay, I can see a few people coming in, willing, 4 to 6, I'm willing to try, but I still struggle to nail it. Feel confident but need some tweaks, absolutely. I love Laura, she's such a newbie. Not for long, my friend, I promise. Okay, so we're kind of hovering between that 4 and 8 mark where there's a willingness to try and to do it and to step into that confidence. So I'm very excited to share some of those tips with you. All right, I'm going to end that poll. So a quick note on confidence before we kick off into kind of the meaty parts of the masterclass. The things that I often hear, often from women, is things like, this person is born confident, confidence is genetic, that person is just a confident person. And whilst I understand how that can sometimes be the perception, I think what it is really important to know that confidence is a skill. It's a skill that you can hone, that you can craft, and that you can master. And a lot of it is to do with practice and also defining what that version of confidence looks like for you. My version of confidence might be different to yours. And I think sometimes we can equate confidence with that, big hustle, masculine energy, instead of saying, okay, what would the version of confidence look like for me? How would I feel stepping into that? I also wanted to note that confidence and great energy, it's contagious. When you walk into a room and you see someone there and they're putting off great energy and optimism and they're inclusive and they're opening up the opportunity, you are more encouraged to be like that. But then there are other times we might walk into rooms or meetings, and I'm sure, let me know if you've had this experience, where there's one person in particular who's giving off this negative, draining energy. And it really does not make you feel good at all. Suddenly you are stooping to that level because you're like, oh, I've got nothing to feed off. I've got nothing to be encouraged by. And so when we show up as the most confident version of ourselves, we're giving permission to everyone around us as well to do the same thing. You already have all the confidence you need within you. And all we're doing today is starting to peel back those layers and say, how can we create the version that suits you most and allows you to activate it more readily? And the final part here, which you've all demonstrated to me already just by being here, is that you have the willingness to learn and to embrace and understand. And you also have a belief that it's possible for you, that you can be the most confident woman in the room, that you can pitch with confidence as well. Something I wanted to touch on, and let me know if you were the most confident version of yourself, or if you've exhibited confident behaviors in the past. That's I feel qualified, not I don't feel qualified. Are these some of the feelings or experiences that you might have as someone who is confident? Do you have that self-belief, that passion for your message? Do you feel comfortable in your skin, that you're showing up for yourself, that you're consistent, you're willing, you feel powerful and grounded and centered? Think of some of the words that are coming up for you if you were to envision yourself as the most confident woman in the room. And what I'm actually going to get you to do is to consider that when we have thoughts, the most common thoughts we have become a belief that we have about ourselves. If I constantly have thoughts that I am the most confident woman in the room, or I am a confident person, it's much more likely to become a belief of mine, rather than thinking, you know what, I'm not someone who's confident. Oh no, I'm someone who's really nervous. And once we perpetuate these thoughts, they then become a belief. So what I'd like everyone to do, and look, do indulge me for a second, it's not going to be for long, but I'd just like you to take a moment, just close your eyes and think about, what if you held the belief that you were the most confident woman in the room? What if that was a thought that you kept having and it became a belief of yours? That you are a confident person, that you are the most confident woman in every room that you walk into, and that you have a skill set to be able to tap into that and activate that confidence. What would it look like for you? Would you feel connected? Would you feel passionate about what you have to share? Would you feel inspired? Have a little think about what kind of things would allow you to be that person. You can just jot them down on a piece of paper if you like. And I just want you to keep that in mind throughout the session today, because as we continue to go through, we're building on this knowledge and this skill set of saying, how can we visualize and then create this confident person who I know that you are, but sometimes just needs a little bit of coaxing back into the room. So ladies, when it comes to pitching your business, what's standing in your way? We've touched on the confidence piece there, but when we're talking about your business itself, when you are put on the spot, whether it's in a networking meeting, whether you need to pitch for investment, whether you're simply introducing yourself one-on-one to someone, what's standing in your way of delivering a perfect pitch? And do you know what? I shouldn't say a perfect pitch, because I truly don't believe anything is perfect, but perfect to us can mean really great. I feel really great about that. What's standing in your way? Note some of those barriers that you face. Do you feel like people are judging you when you're sharing your message or introducing yourself? Do you actually not believe in what you're saying? This is actually something that is much more common than we think. Sometimes words come out of my mouth and I have to check myself and go, Claudia, do you genuinely believe that? Do you genuinely believe that your presentation was a 5 out of 10 and it wasn't great and you didn't connect with anyone? Or could you look at a little bit more objectively and say, what did I do really well and what could I improve? What am I believing in here? Have you just fallen into a bit of a trap sometimes of when you need to network or pitch your business, that your brain just goes, oh, no, I'm not here anymore. My words are muddled. I'm confused. I'm nervous. I can't overcome the fear. And you kind of flatline a little bit and go, oh, that wasn't my best. You might not be clear on your message, or you're not nailing the mark of your pitch. So when I say pitch perfect, I mean, I'm obviously leaning into the film franchise, one of my favorites. And what I wanted to share with you today is 5 really crucial steps that not only do I take in my business, that I've supported leaders over the last 10 years in their own pitches and being able to develop their own public speaking, that I adopted in my own legal career that had a very traditional approach to things, but I knew that I needed to bring in these elements so I could show up in the way that I needed to and really deliver. So, ladies, the first step is really starting with that belief, and something that I want you to be encouraged to think about is, do you always back yourself? Do you back the winning horse? And when I say back the winning horse, not only are you believing in what you're putting out there, but you're asking other people, say, I'm worth backing. And this is why having that genuine belief of being able to share your message with people and the right people saying, I am willing to back this horse. The second thing that I wanted to share with you, I read a book a really long time ago, very, very early in my career. It was called The So What Strategy. And it was really based on trying to get to the very core of why we care about something. So if you have your business or a vision of your business, so for example, if I was to share my vision for my business with a very different audience to who I'm speaking to today, and I might say something like, my name's Claudia and I empower female entrepreneurs to market with confidence and really step into their power. And if I was really critically analyzing it, I might say, okay, so what? And I'd say, well, I believe that by prioritizing women's voices, we can lead to greater equality in our communities and the world. And so what? And as you go on, you're digging even deeper into why it is you do what you do and why you are willing to back yourself. You're getting closer to that clarity of message. And the final point here that I wanted to touch on is alignment and connection. So I want you to think about a time you might have really backed yourself. You really had that strong self-belief that you were capable of doing something. And because that's what self-belief is. It's that you believe you're capable of doing something. And also, if you don't succeed, that you'll get back up again. And I think that alignment and connection is very important, because when we are aligned, we are connected to the purpose behind why we're doing what we're doing, and we're much more readily able to share that information with people. I think something I really struggled with, during my career was I wore a few different hats. I still wear a few different hats. And I think at times I was trying to be too many things to too many people. I wasn't aligned. I wasn't confident enough to say, these are the hats I wear and why, and this is the impact that I make. And so what I really had to do was realign and say, okay, what would it look like if I felt really confident wearing these 3 hats and sharing that message with the world? A mentor actually a very long time ago said exactly that to me. He would say to me, Claudia, is this action aligned with where you want to go? And I think it's a really great question to use in our own journeys to say, is this steering me off course, or is it moving me closer to where I want and where I need to go? The second tip in the kind of pitch perfect model is to stop talking to everyone. This kind of relates back to my story before, when people were questioning, saying, why do you only work with women? Because if I tried to share this message with a massive audience and said, open the door and said, okay, everyone come in, my message is much less likely to resonate with the right people, because I'm not allowing my ideal audience to see themselves in what I'm offering. Because when we do talk to everyone, we talk to no one. We don't make people feel special. We say, if you're a person, come in. But if you're a person who's interested in personal development, who is a business owner, you're continually refining and defining who it is you want to work with and why. And it leads to my second point. In when you prioritize the group of people that you can impact the most, not only do they see your value in what you can deliver, but you're also much more aligned to being able to deliver on that value. You have a clearer understanding of what this group's pain points are, what their deepest desires are, so that you're able to problem solve for them in a way that actually makes sense. When we're trying to cater to an enormous group of people with an enormous group of different needs, your time, your energy, and your impact is so severely diluted, you become detached from why it is you started doing what you were doing in the first place. And the last point here, which I briefly spoke to, is creating this instant visualization for your client. Have you ever met with a client before? I'm sure that you all have, and that client just absolutely loved, or they were picking up what you were putting down. That's such a cheesy expression, but they loved what you were putting out there. They loved the information you were sharing with them. They felt incredibly connected to you. They felt like you were solving their problem, and they felt taken care of because they were able to see themselves in what it is you were offering. How can we make it easier for our ideal client to see them in this future transformation? Leads to tip 3, be very clear on what that transformation is. The action that you take in your business for your client leads them to an outcome that they really want and or need. And I do think that that's quite different. I'll give you an example. When I first came to my business coach, I said, I just need some help with some systems and processes. Boring for me. I know it's not boring for some people. But that was really what I thought that I needed. But actually through that investigation and clarifying what it is that I wanted to put out there into the world, it wasn't that at all. It was getting clear on what I wanted my offering to be. And the systems and processes came in time. They were simply complementary of what it was that I wanted to put out there into the world. By you taking an action on behalf of your client, you're giving them an outcome they couldn't achieve without you. The next piece here is a quick win versus long-term success. For example, sometimes we do need a quick win. I need someone to come and fix my car. I need them to fix my tire, I've got a pop tire. Or I need someone to maintain my car so that it keeps me on the road and I can ensure that I can get to all of my meetings and all of my priorities in the way that I need to. You're trying to demonstrate to people that not only can you solve a problem for them quickly, but you can prevent that problem from happening again. And you can empower them to take that step so that they really own that experience of saying, I'm not willing to live in a place where I've got problems. I'm willing to take an action that gives me the quick win and then the long-term relationship and success. And then the final piece on here, in conjunction with demonstrating your transformation, is being able to chunk up all the way to what your client's highest value is. If I had to ask you what your highest value is, would you know? Like a number one value. What's the most important thing to you in your life? Let me know in the chat. Mine is freedom. Yeah, Sammy said the same. Caring, integrity, beautiful. Lovely. Connection, beautiful, Sonia. Because when we're looking at these higher values, authenticity, Laura, gorgeous. Oh, wow, these are amazing. And what we're seeing straight away is that people are trying to get to the deepest, most core belief of what they want in their lives. And I can see Patricia and Judy saying in here, meaningful connection, inclusivity. I'm obviously taking all of these and just stashing them away for a rainy day. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, ladies. I think what this piece is really saying, how can we get, okay, I'm freezing. Am I a little bit better there, ladies? Beautiful. Thank you, Judy. Appreciate that. Let me know again if it freezes up. Yay, fantastic. So by chunking up why it is you do what you do for your client and how it leads them to their highest value or their self-actualization, if we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs and, you know, those more physical needs, the emotional needs, and when you get to the top, it's that self-actualization. It's how do I become the best version of myself? How do I become the best business owner that I can be according to what I value? The fourth piece of the puzzle here in the perfect pitch is prioritizing a feeling. How, for my ladies here who I would imagine all of you have a very technical expertise behind why you do what you do. It could be legal language, medical language, health language, financial language. And to you, it makes sense because this is an expertise that you have. But to your prospective client, a lot of the time, the technical knowledge they don't actually have, and they also don't necessarily resonate with it. Sometimes there might be more of a detail-oriented person. They're looking for that. But when you're pitching in a short amount of time, I'd really encourage you to get rid of the jargon and the technical detail and really lean into that feeling and lived experience. What story can you share with your prospective client, again, that allows them to see themselves, not just right now in the present moment with the problem that they have or potentially don't have. Your customer or your prospective client might not think that they have a problem yet, but they're interested in kind of learning a little bit more about why you do what you do. You're educating them. Again, do they need a quick win or are they looking for that more long-term success? But can they see themselves in the offering that you're sharing with them and the relationship that you're then going to nurture? Prioritize the feeling. People will always more readily connect with a feeling that you can evoke rather than the technical detail and the expertise, because they don't know what they don't know. The final point of our Pitch Perfect Matrix here, ladies, is really enrolling people in your vision. And sometimes I speak to it like enrolling someone in your idea, which is showing people what's possible. Again, demonstrating this lovely trajectory of, have you considered possibility? Because a lot of the time we haven't considered what's possible. We live in, you know, a very set matrix of how our life has been. Yes, if you're, you know, very growth-minded, it can be considered, but I think that when you speak to another professional, you're giving them permission to show you what possibility there is, and you're opening the door to opportunity for them. So I think particularly when we're pitching ourselves, or sometimes like a lot of my clients that I speak to, they say things like, I really don't like selling myself. I feel really uncomfortable. And number one, we can change the language. We don't have to sell ourselves. We can share the message. We can market our brand. We can market the message or the solution that we have. But I think sometimes we can be caught up in what that language actually means. And the solution that you have to share with your potential clients is going to give them that possibility and their opportunity to reach that highest value. And I think what's really lovely also is you're not only showing them possibility, but you're saying, by taking this action or by working with me, you're also extending your own impact, because often you're not just offering a solution to your client. So for example, you might your service offering might be delivering on business coaching, on bookkeeping, on accounting. But what you're actually doing is far beyond just the action of delivering on that service. You're giving people peace of mind when it comes to their numbers. You are educating them in a way that feels really empowered for them to make great decisions in their business. So by using your service, you need to be able to articulate what the impact is going to have long-term. Again, that long-term success piece, but also having a very clear call to action that relates to that impact. So for example, and Kerry, I only know this because you're a bookkeeper, but I think what's really interesting is that in a lot of traditional industries, there are all of these different perceptions of what we think bookkeepers do, lawyers do, financial controllers do, coaches do. And really what it's our job to do is to educate and to share that information in a way that makes sense to this client and says to them, if you are willing to have more calm in your business, if you're ready to protect and capitalize on the value of those transactions, that's a call to action for people to be able to say, okay, I understand now how you're moving them from the technical detail to the big picture thinking of what they're genuinely going to get out of this experience. So ladies, to recap, the 5 steps to being pitch perfect or pretty good. I'm definitely an 80-20 girl. If it's 80% great, I'm very, very happy with that. I can, and then I look at all my wonderful lawyers and accountants and bookkeepers and I'm like, you are detail people. This is 100% perfect. But it's all about starting with belief, stop talking to everyone, really hone in on your ideal customer, be very clear on the transformation, prioritize the feeling and enroll people in your vision and your idea. If you want to take a little photo of that, please feel free. I will have this. I can see Judy would just dropped off before, but this is being recorded and you will be able to look at the slides as well in the recording. So don't stress if you feel like you're missing anything. The next piece of our puzzle here is all about becoming a super attractor and giving off magnetic energy. Now, I must confess the super attractor term is not my original. I definitely stole it from Gabby Bernstein, who I love. But really this is all about, okay, how can we put out the right energy into the world so we attract that right energy back that's great for us and great for our business. And I also love this girl because am I on the cycling bike? No, but also no one can take my energy. So I love this. Magnetic energy when you're pitching or when you're walking into a room, I think has a combination of points that come together, and it's really about honoring your passion, the things that you love to do, the things that genuinely, set your heart and your soul on fire, that wake you up every day and you're energized to do it. It's about really aligning with your purpose and why you're doing what you're doing. Has anyone ever kind of veered off track a little bit away from their why and found themselves saying, oh, why do I feel unsettled? Why do I feel like I'm not working with the right people? Why aren't I making money? That's a big one. I think that's a big tip. Sometimes I can see Maddie with a thumbs up there. Absolutely. I think we've all been out of alignment before in our careers and in our personal lives too, and saying, how can we redirect and almost course correct a little bit back to the reason we're doing what we're doing? The fourth piece is really trusting in the process. But for me, this also means trusting in yourself, that the timing of your life is exactly where it needs to be. And you are learning the lessons along the way to get you closer towards that higher value, that ultimate goal, a business that you feel energized to be part of every day. And the last piece here is actually saying, I am willing to own my existence and my experience. I walk into rooms and I own this space. I own my energy. I own my behavior. And what that is doing is it's signaling to the rest of the world and the people around you is I take responsibility and I'm accountable for what I put out there. When we walk into a room with great, confident, positive energy, we're owning that energy. When we walk into a room with, I'm exhausted, I feel terrible, I've had a horrible week, we're not owning that energy. We're leaning into the parts that, yeah, absolutely. Sometimes we don't feel 100%. I don't feel 100% every day. I don't feel my most confident version of myself every day, but I have the tools to be able to tap into that and say, what's preventing me from being that person? And how can I reconnect? Ladies, I want to do a little activity, and whether you've got your computers or you've got a notepad, pen, I'm more than happy for you to do this. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes, but I want you to consider something. I think there's this very Hollywood view of what's on your bucket list. What do you want to do before you die? Do you want to skydive? Do you want to go to Santorini? Do you, what are all of these experiences that we want to have which contribute to this very full, thriving life? And I wonder whether we could apply this idea to the big power moves that you want to make in your business. And what I'd like you to do is to write down 3 big power moves that you really want to make in your business and your professional life that feel really scary and exciting. And so often these are things that you've put off and you said, oh, one day I'd like to do this. They feel very far off. And what I'd like you to do is say, okay, what are those things? You can write 3 down, and I'll give you an example. And something that I was sharing yesterday is writing a book is a big one for me. I'd love to write a book. I would love to do a TED Talk. I can see beautiful Sammy there as well. But the thing that actually really, really scares me, that are like my major power moves, is I really want to do a global speaking tour where I go around the world and I teach incredible female entrepreneurs and business owners how to market themselves with confidence and build a global brand. That's the thing that I'm like, oh God, I'm sweating a bit thinking about how to make that happen. Who would come? And so I want you to write down, what are some of those power moves you want to make? Do you want to take 2 months off your business this year? Maybe that's one of your power moves. Lean further into rest, relaxation, rejuvenation. Do you only want to work 3 days a week and you want to have a 5-day weekend? Power moves are the things that are going to help you be the best version of yourself in your business and allow you to grow in the way that is most connected to what you value. And once you write those power moves down, and I'm happy for you to still take some time, I want you to ask yourself, what's one action that you could take today that's going to move you closer towards that power move? Just one action, and it's just today. So it might be something like, for example, with writing a book. I might decide I'm going to think of chapter headings that I'd like to include in this book. I just might want to do an A4 page, just brain dump some ideas on that. And it's just one small task. And as I continue to accumulate these small tasks that get me closer towards this bigger power move, we start to bridge the gap between how far away that power move actually is. Suddenly, writing a book doesn't seem like something that is far away, impossible, beyond my reach, because we're taking these powerful steps further and further towards that goal. Just going to give you a couple of minutes. You can see some fierce writing happening here. It's a really great exercise just to be able to bring that big picture, scary thinking down to, what could this look like? If I was to make this possible now, it doesn't have to be years away, out of reach, something that you might do. Is anyone brave enough to share one of their power moves? I can see beautiful Sammy's written in there. Is there any other lovely ladies who'd like to share one of their power moves, and maybe one of the tasks that they can take today that actually moves them closer towards that? I can see some typing happening. And look, you might not want to share it with everyone today, but it's a lovely way to, again, reconnect you to what that journey could look like if you chose to pursue it today, because it's a choice to make that power move. Oh, amazing, Sammy. My big one is to fund and build an operation of a school for a year in Kenya. Amazing. Amazing. Laura, organizing my first women's wellness and wine night in my local community. Unreal. I'll come, even if I'm not a local. I'm inviting myself. Yeah, that's it. We're all in Laura's community now. We're all invited. And ladies, with these big power moves, start to make a list of those tasks and implement them in your weekly to-do lists and 90-day sprints, or however it is you manage your outlook. Oh, I have booked a venue and locked in guest speaker just today. You're on your way to the power move, girlfriend. I love it. Fantastic. Ladies, I'm going to keep moving us through here. And as I said, you'll be able to access the recording and these slides again. If you want to take yourself back through that exercise, it is something that's really helpful and you can continue to activate in your life. But ladies, how can you show up more authentically online? And this was something that I wanted to give you, not just big picture examples, but also ones that are a little bit more specific as well. And the reason is because when I talk about big picture examples of really showing up, not just face-to-face, but online in the content that you produce, whether it's for things like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, your content platform of choice, I would also always encourage you to really embrace that storytelling piece and prioritizing connection. Your ultimate goal here, again, is to be able to tell a story that people see themselves in, so they'll more readily connect with you and have a conversation. That's actually our number one goal, a conversation with people, a genuine connected conversation. Another great question to ask yourself when creating different content is, what would be helpful for my audience to see? What does my audience need right now? And sometimes that's actually asking them, saying, hey, network, would this be valuable to you? Or which of these would be valuable to you? So you're actually getting that community feedback for them and you can refine the kind of content that you're putting out. Choosing the right platform, I think, is really interesting. And I was thinking about this morning, that sometimes when I go to post on LinkedIn, I think, oh, this is very professional. I definitely won't be swearing on LinkedIn, but on Instagram, yes, I will. And there are different places and spaces for us to share, you know, levels of casualness and formality. But choose the right platform that feels really great for you, that you feel very powerful on and authentic to be able to share your message. And really to create moments for people to resonate with, to stop someone mid-scroll on a Thursday afternoon and they're saying, you know what, I actually really like what Maddie's putting out there. I love what Renee spoke about in her, you know, journey in her first few years as a lawyer. Where are these different spaces and moments that you can create for people to see themselves? But some more specific examples, and I know, you know, we've got a lot of professional service providers on here as well who use things like LinkedIn and or Instagram, Facebook, and just a few more specific examples. Sharing your biggest lessons in life and in business. People want to know your story of how you've gotten to today. They want to be able to understand, where did you come from? What did you study? What didn't you study? What travel did you do? What experience did you have that have really informed what you're putting out there into the world? Giving easy ways for your clients to succeed is another great content idea or an example of how you can show up more authentically online, because you're demonstrating to them, not only do I want you to succeed, but here's your very easy journey of how you're going to do it. And that might be something as simple as, hey, if you're a business owner that has a lot of expenses and you're not using a platform like Xero, here's 3 easy ways that you can use it and keep succeeding in your business. Digestible how-to guides. I always use the word digestible, which sometimes I think is probably not it, but to me it makes sense. That being able to give people bite-sized how-tos that then inform the way that they do something. So it might change the way they do something in their business, or you give them a simple instruction that they've never heard before. So even, for example, you know, how to run a Zoom webinar or a masterclass like this might be very helpful. Think of what your audience needs and say, what would they like to learn, how or what to do? And the last one that I wanted to speak to here in some more specific examples is sharing the people that you admire and why. And I know this sounds very simple, and I'm just going to apologize for the leaf blower outside my window in advance. He clearly knew that I had a masterclass today and was coming for a guest performance, surprise performance. But by sharing the people that you admire and why, or the content that the people you admire put out, not only are you creating an association between you and someone else, and for example, at the end of my presentation today, I shared a quote by Mel Robbins. She's a ex-attorney in America. She's a motivational speaker now. I really like Mel. I like what she puts out there. I like the values that she exhibits. And by sharing quotes or ideas or speaking to something that someone I admire puts out there, I'm automatically creating that alignment between me and that person. So that, for example, someone like Laura who said, I love Mel, same. Sammy loves her too, right? We're starting to create this familiarity between each other that says, wow, we have a commonality on this person. We should talk about them. Or I have the same values. So this is like a really, feel free to screenshot this. This is a great, even like particularly these ones, I'm sure you've all been taking notes. But it's just a lovely way to be able to kind of look at it as a cheat sheet and say, how can I show up today? How can I show up in a very authentic way? Ladies, I started off the masterclass today. I promised to deliver on teaching you how to show up as the most confident version of yourself, how to nail your pitch and leave an unforgettable impact on your audience, giving off that magnetic energy and actually attracting more of those amazing dream clients that you want to work with. I've shared some experiences of how you can show up authentically online. And so really at the core of this, I use all of this to be able to educate you on how to make your next power move. It's how to make that big move in your business that you might be putting off, but you know is the difference between a good business and a really great business, not just personally for you, but also in the impact that you create for your community. I also promised you that I was going to give away a free 45-minute coaching session with me to nail your pitch. I was going to show you and give you first dibs on my newest program, the Power Moves Playbook, and some more opportunities to connect with me. So before I announce who that winner is, I am really, really excited to share with you that this coming Wednesday, the 1st of June, I am opening the doors to my brand new program, the Power Moves Playbook. It's an 8-week, high-touch group coaching program with some incredible online coursework where I'm going to teach people not only these confidence and mindset hacks, how to elevate their brand and build that very authentic personal brand online, how to pitch their business and make that next power move in their business. But what I'm really excited about is at the end of this 8 weeks, I'm going to be running an incredible live breakfast event where all of the amazing women in my this first cohort are going to be live pitching to a group of investors, collaborators, partners to be able to not only showcase their business with the new tools, confidence, and experience that they have, but also be able to make that power move, make that connection to their next opportunity. So, what is on the menu? This is a very cohesive program weaving us through really understanding what is the power within me that's going to get me towards my next opportunity. How can I activate my confidence zone and become the ultimate opportunity creator? Really teaching you how to create a personal brand that feels very connected to you and your values so that you can attract and nurture more of those dream clients. And when I talk about attracting the dream clients, it's then also about nurturing them and saying, how can I keep these people in a long-term relationship with me in the best way possible so that I can continue to build a community and make an impact? I'm going to teach you to really elevate your marketing and what you put out there into the world, your messaging, the way you articulate yourself, which is going to come across in your pitch. And then also be able to help you stand in your total power at that live event a week after the course finishes. There's going to be some extra bonus modules in there around content pillars, the kinds of things that you talk about online. One of my favorites, the 5 habits of highly confident women, and also building powerful communities, because we all know that, yes, we might be in business for ourselves, but we don't want to be in business by ourselves. We want to create a community not only with our clients and the work we do, but also with the referral partners, with the other incredible female business owners and career women that we know. So what's incredible about what I put together is I was really trying to understand, if this was me 10 years ago, what would I want to know? And what would I want in my toolkit that's going to propel me into being able to feel very confident and powerful? So I put together these 8 modules. There are going to be the 8 live coaching calls. I'm going to have a one-to-one session with every woman in the group as well, just to really be able to set the tone for an amazing 8 weeks. They'll get a ticket to that live event, access to my network of suppliers who can support them to really elevate their brand. But I believe in this program so much that I am going to give all of the women in the group a 14-day back money guarantee. If they do 2 weeks of it and they go, you know what, this is not the course for me, I will give them their money back, and hopefully they will find the course. But I think that they will absolutely see the value and the experience that has gone into it. But with over $14,500 worth of value, I'm really excited to be able to offer it for $2,800. And today, because I really wanted to honor the people who joined the call today, is that if this is a program that says, yes, I need to be part of it, I'm ready to make my next power move, I'm more than happy to offer 10% off any of these payment options for you. And the offer does end at 5 o'clock today. So if this is something that you're like, yes, I want to make this happen, just reach out to me either in the chat or you can email me, and I will be more than happy to answer any questions and get you first dibs on the program. But as I said, I will share this recording with you so that you've got it this afternoon. But ladies, I've been having a little think while I've been rabbiting my head off. I missed it, start date, 14th of June, my love, Tuesday morning, 9:30, thank you. The person there are a couple of people who really showed up, not just in the chat, but also being really honest and transparent about their power moves. And thank you so much for everyone who did join me. But Laura, you have shown that you are already making power moves, and I would love to be able to give you the free coaching call to really nail your pitch. Congratulations. And we will have a chat after as well. So thank you so much. I so appreciate the feedback during, and I think it's really great to be able to see what other women are doing in their businesses and in their careers as well. So ladies, I am going to open up the floor for Q&A. If you have questions from today, I can see Maddie, awesome sauce. Congrats, Laura, cute. If you have any questions, whether it's to do with pitching some of the content that we've covered today, potentially some of questions about the program, please feel free to write them in the chat or come off mute if you like. We are very close to the end. I am very impressed with my timing, actually, because I always vow to have you out right on time at 1 o'clock with an hour of power. But ladies, I would love to know how you found the session today. Let me know in the chat. Did you find it useful? Any questions? Please let me know. I can see the type.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I hope you don't mind if I talk quickly. I'm so interested in doing the course, but I'm still studying and I actually haven't officially set up my business. So I'm kind of wondering if it's something I should wait for, or I should just go for it while I'm still studying. And I've started to take on free clients and do some background work, but I just wanted to know, is it something that I'm best to leave for another few months? What's your opinion?
Look, it's completely up to you. I think in terms of the content and the education itself, it's always going to be incredibly valuable. I think particularly when you're first setting up your business, it's really great to start with really strong foundations. And by being part of a community of women like this, it gives you an opportunity not just to build your network, but also to be able to connect and see what else everyone's doing. I think one of the biggest ways that I learned, not just in my career, but also as a business owner, is surrounding myself with other like-minded people. It's amazing. It's like nobody ever tells you that.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I went to Elaine's event, and that's where I met you. And
Yes, that's right.
I didn't even talk to you at that event. It was so funny. But then we connected afterwards on Instagram, and I was just like,
Yes.
this is so what I need. And I think it is that kind of, I'll be ready when, like I keep going, I'll be ready when I finish my course, I'll be ready when I do this, and
Yes.
kind of giving myself to the end of the year. And my daughter starts school next year, so I keep thinking, okay, I've got this little bit of time.
Fantastic.
But I'm like, you know, you're never going to be ready, just do it. So I think this would be perfect along with my studies to help with all of that. So
Yeah,
I just wanted to know, I didn't want to show up as someone with all these people are going to have a credible businesses, and I'm going to turn up and go, I haven't actually started yet. So
number one, you are credible. And that's it, right? Is it's, you know, I think the thing is there are so many incredible women, again, who have had careers or are still studying, who are saying, okay, how can I create more of the life that I want and more of the education that I want as well? And so I think, Laura, even, you know, we met at that networking event, you starting to put yourself out there and be willing and trusting in the process of, if I make these moves, I'm going to be rewarded for them. And so I think the program would be a wonderful opportunity to do that.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds amazing. And I think that's exactly it. Like I'm doing the work, and I keep saying that to myself. Like I haven't got the business model yet, and I'm not making the money yet, but every time I'm having those moments, I keep saying, you're doing the work, you're showing up, you're doing the work. So I think this would add to it really well. So thank you so much. And
my pleasure.
Anyone else?
Yeah, fantastic. Ladies, was there anyone else who wanted to say something or had any questions? I am very, I was going to say noticeable. I want to honor your time, and it is 1 o'clock, and I so appreciate you joining me today. All I'm going to do is end on my final quote by Mel: confidence in yourself is built through acts of everyday courage. And I think that is such a beautiful thing to lean on and say, if you show up for yourself every day and if you commit to being the most confident version of yourself, then there are no limits to what you can do. So look, what I am going to do is, Sammy's just asked me if I can go back to the curriculum. I absolutely can. And the other beautiful ladies, thank you so much for joining me. I so appreciate it. Big love to you all. Hope you have the rest of an amazing day. And please get in touch with me if you'd like to know more about the program or if I can support you in any way. Stay confident, be powerful, do everything you need to do. Have a great rest of the day.